Hi, I'm Michelle Paganini, designer for Paganoonoo, and I have 5 quick upcycling tips for you today. The first one is, we tend to wear a lot more shirts than dresses these days, and a lot of vintage slips, long slips, are in the stores. In my wearable art guild, we talk about something called Velcro butt, and that's when your shirt rides up and sits on the back of your pants. One thing that can help prevent that from happening is to have a chemise on. And an easy thing to do with a long slip is to make a chemise out of it. So really just put it on for the shirts you want to wear, check where it is, cut it off, and in this case, I've just hand sewn a hem. They make great chemises, and then you don't have to do all the construction. Another one is, if you do happen to be wearing a slip or even a chemise, and you put it on and someone says, your slip's showing, and you look down and it's just sticky maybe in one spot or a little bit, instead of despairing and going to look for another shirt or slip, there have been times when I have simply basted a seam all the way around however much I want to lift it, either by hand or by machine, and since I'm basting it, I can pull it out easily when I'm done wearing it, and that avoids the problem of having to go look for another garment that's the right, or slip that's the right length, and you might not have one. My husband calls me Princess in the Pea because labels on clothing really bother me. They used to be softer, I remember when they were satiny. Now they tend to use that nylon clear thread and be itchy on the side, so I really can't stand it. And I sometimes want to resell the clothes I have because I buy from thrift stores and I sell back to consignment shops. So I discovered that you can't really sell back to a consignment shop if you have taken the labels out. It doesn't work. So I've started covering my labels and even doing some fun things with them. Like this is from a vintage quilt that was in really bad shape. Most of it was mildewed. And just sewing them right on top of the label, in this case turning it up and sewing that on. And you can make it something that's going to make you smile and have a lot of fun when you pull out your garment. So it could be this. I made just a little fun thing one day when I wasn't going to do much sewing. Could be that. Or if you're into luxury, could be a scrap of silk, or it could be a strap of cashmere that goes right over the top and that you sew it in. I want to talk about one other wardrobe issue, and that is pants that unzip themselves and shirts that come unbuttoned by themselves. I had a pair of pants that I'd embellished on the bottom that I didn't want to give up, and they unzipped themselves all the time. It was driving me crazy. And I finally realized that the problem was that the buttonhole had gotten too big, and that was causing the button to pop out and then the pants to unzip themselves. And for a quick fix, I just used a safety pin and closed it and discovered that that actually worked. So I went back and I tacked the buttonhole closed. For things that open on the chest, you know, when you're moving, I found the same thing, that really just tightening up that buttonhole a little bit prevents that problem from happening. And the last one is, I have pin cushions all over the place, you probably do too, and I found that wool pin cushions are really nice for holding the pins. This one is made out of ribbing from a sweater, so I took ribbing off of several sweaters and just wrapped it and wrapped it and wrapped it and then stitched it together on the bottom, and it's felted wool, so it's really tight, holds the pins well, travels well. That's how easy it is to use upcycling.